Okay, serious question. You're home alone. You decide to summon Bloody Mary for, reasons. She actually shows up. What is the very first thing you say to her?
I'd ask if she sees that toothpaste smudge on the upper right corner of the mirror. I swear I've been trying to clean it for a week and I just can't get it. I'd want a second opinion.
Welcome to What If It's Real, the show that takes your favorite urban legends, horror movies, and everything scary and asks, what's the practical day-to-day survival plan? I'm Riley.
And I'm Marcus. Today, we're staring deep into the abyss of your bathroom mirror to tackle the legend herself, Bloody Mary.
That's right. Everyone knows the story. Go into a dark bathroom, say her name 3 times, and she appears. To, scratch your face off? The lore is a little fuzzy on the consequences.
And that's our entire premise. What happens in the 5 minutes after she appears? That's what no one prepares you for. So let's start with the summoning itself.
Right, the setup. Dark bathroom, mirror, lit candle is optional, but adds a nice ambiance. But why dark? Is she photosensitive? Does she just have a really bad migraine from being stuck in the mirror realm?
It's for the atmosphere, obviously. But let's treat it as a hard rule in our scenario. My first practical question is about volume. When you say Bloody Mary 3 times, are you whispering, chanting, are you screaming it at the top of your lungs? Because if you're shouting and you live in an apartment, your neighbor is going to hear you. They're not calling an exorcist, Riley. They're calling the building manager about a noise complaint.
Totally. Imagine that conversation. Yeah, my neighbor was just screaming about a violent cocktail at 3 in the morning.
So let's assume you use a moderate indoor voice level. You say the words and she appears. Now what? The legends always describe her as, well, bloody.
Not clean, Mary.
My first genuine practical concern is one of sanitation. Is she dripping? Because if she's dripping spectral blood all over your new bath mat, that's a problem. That's a stain you're never getting out.
Oh my God, you went straight to ghost germs. You're not worried about your soul, you're worried about your grout.
Ectoplasmic residue is an unknown quantity. A smart summoner would put down a tarp first, or at least some newspaper. It's just common courtesy.
Okay, fine. The floor is protected by a tarp. She's here, she's drippy. The legends say she might scream or attack you or drive you insane. But what if you just talk to her?
This is the central issue. What is her motivation, her objective? Why is she taking requests to appear in random bathrooms? Is she seeking revenge on all of humanity? Is she just profoundly bored in the mirror dimension?
Right. Is she an Uber for the undead? Maybe she's just a spectral Siri. Bloody Mary, what's the weather like? Bloody with a chance of screams.
Let's assume hostility. If she lunges, what do? You can't punch a ghost. It's ineffective, and you'll probably just break your hand on the bathroom sink.
Oh, turn on the lights. The legend specifically says a dark bathroom. Is a 100-watt bulb her kryptonite? Does she just fizzle out with a sad little sizzle noise?
That's actually a solid theory. The light switch is your primary defense. It's the simplest solution. It exploits the established rules of the summoning.
But what if it doesn't work? What if she just squints and gets even more mad? Now you've just annoyed a bloody ghost who can see every single terrified pore on your face in glorious fluorescent lighting.
This brings up our first revelation. The identity of Bloody Mary is actually a blend of several different historical figures. It's most famously linked to Queen Mary I of England,
who had a pretty rough go of it, hence the nickname.
Right, she had multiple phantom pregnancies, religious strife, was betrayed by her own family. Her story is one of tragedy, not malice. But some folklores also connect the legend to Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, who was a prolific serial killer, or even to a possibly fictional local witch named Mary Worth.
Whoa, so you don't even know who you're getting? It's a Mary lottery? Can you specify in the chant? Bloody Mary, the wronged queen, not the sadistic countess, if you don't mind.
Which means her motivation is a complete mystery. You could be dealing with royal indignation or homicidal rage. So, back to the plan. The light switch failed. Now what?
You run, but where? If she came out of your bathroom mirror, can she pop into another? Is your bedroom mirror next? What about your TV screen, your phone? Am I going to see her bloody face pop up while I'm scrolling TikTok?
The mirror as a portal theory. That's a critical question. If she is bound to reflective surfaces, your immediate goal is to get to a room with none, a walk-in closet, a pantry.
Yes, the pantry. I'd lock myself in there and just hope she's not into carbs.
But only if you've done a proper reflectivity audit first. But what if running doesn't solve it? What if she's not tethered to mirrors, but to you? You summoned her. You're stuck with her. She's your spectral stalker for life.
Okay, but what if you try negotiation? What would a centuries-old mirror ghost even want?
You're joking, but the idea of an offering could be the key. What if you just have to ask her, politely, "Excuse me, what is it that you want?"
Right, just treat her like a customer service rep from hell. Hello, Miss Mary, ma'am. I understand you're here to steal my soul, but before we proceed, could you please outline the specific terms and conditions of this haunting?
Which could backfire. What if she answers, and her request is something unreasonable? "I demand you avenge my death by finding the descendants of the person who wronged me." Now you're obligated.
Which, believe it or not, leads us to our second revelation. There's a real psychological phenomenon called the strange face in the mirror illusion.
If you stare at your own reflection in a dimly lit room, your brain can't properly process the stable image of your face. It starts to fill in the gaps with distorted, often monstrous features. It's a form of sensory deprivation.
Wait, so you're saying we're just scaring ourselves? We're summoning our own brain's terrible, low-budget CGI?
In almost every real-world case, yes, that is what is actually happening. But this is what if it's real? We have to assume the illusion failed and the genuine article, dripping blood and all, has arrived.
Okay, but let's raise the stakes. What if she's not just in your bathroom? What if she becomes a permanent resident? Think about the daily grind. You stumble in at 7 a.m., eyes half closed, and there she is, just floating.
Your morning skincare routine is ruined. How can you exfoliate with a vengeful wraith judging your pore size?
And what about property value? Do you now have to legally disclose a haunting when you sell the house?
Oh, absolutely. The Zillow listing would be a nightmare. Charming 3-bed, 2-bath with renovated kitchen and the non-corporeal entity tethered to the master bathroom. Highly motivated seller.
You'd have to find a very specific buyer. Pros, hardwood floors. Cons, occasional glimpses into the abyss.
It would tank your property value, which brings us to liability. Say your friend, Dave, has too much to drink at your party, stumbles into the bathroom, and decides it would be funny to summon her.
Classic Dave.
She appears and something bad happens. He gets scratched, or worse, pulled into the mirror. Are you, as the homeowner, legally responsible for Dave's supernatural abduction?
I'm gonna say yes. It's my haunted mirror. It feels like having a tiger in the house. If it mauls Dave, that's on me.
Your homeowner's insurance would have a field day with that claim. I can't imagine there's a clause for interdimensional kidnapping.
Definitely not. So, okay, coexistence is out. It's too risky. We need an exit strategy. How do we get rid of her?
This is where the legends fail us. They are very clear on the summoning process, but surprisingly vague on the unsummoning.
Right, no technical support.
The most obvious solution seems to be destroying the mirror.
No way. I'm not dealing with 7 years of bad luck on top of an angry, homeless ghost. That's a terrible combination. Where would she even go?
That's the terrifying question. Does breaking the mirror free her, or does it sever her connection to our world? It's a huge gamble, but what if there's a simpler way?
Go on.
You just cover it. You take a towel or a blanket and you just drape it over the mirror.
So her eternal prison is defeated by a bath sheet? Sorry, Mary, mirror's closed for renovations. But what if she just finds another reflective surface? Does she pop up on the chrome faucet, my toaster, my phone screen while I'm doom scrolling at 2 a.m.?
The idea of her appearing on a phone screen is genuinely one of the most frightening modern adaptations of this legend I can imagine.
A viral TikTok ghost. Unbelievable.
This all brings us to a real-world takeaway, though. The entire legend is built on psychological fear. It uses darkness, isolation, and the mirror, which shows a reflection of ourselves, to create anxiety. The most potent safety tip is simply to break that illusion.
Right.
Don't do it alone. Keep a light on. The ritual's power comes from the atmosphere you allow it to have.
So, in conclusion, if you find yourself with an unwanted spectral houseguest named Mary, your best options are in order: 1. Try the light switch.
2. Attempt to negotiate a civil cohabitation agreement, but be aware of the legal risks and property value implications.
3. Consider covering the mirror with a really nice towel and hope she doesn't learn how to use Wi-Fi.
And 4, as a last resort, accept that you may need to disclose this to future homebuyers. Be honest in your listing.
A ghost-proof interior design philosophy combined with real estate transparency. I like it.
And maybe switch to matte finishes for all your appliances, just in case.
That's all the time we have for today on What If It's Real. Join us next time as we tackle another classic legend. Yes, we're asking, what if you're parked on Lover's Lane and you hear that awful scrape, scrape, scrape on the car door? We're taking on the Hookman.
We'll explore what you should actually do, why the legend exists, and whether you should really be parking in secluded areas in the first place.
Spoiler, probably not, but we'll give you a plan anyway. See you next time.